Today is 16th of March 2023. On our way to Milan to go to the Esoteric bookstore. So we're on our way to Milan to the Esoteric bookstore. And what do you think about the people in Milan, Lenny?
I don't know, we'll see. I've been there for like 15 years. We'll see.
So we're in the train right now, heading into Milan to go to the Esoteric bookstore. And general thoughts on the city of Milan, northern Italy, is more of a work-minded area of Italy. I think a lot of people come from the south to look more for work, especially in fields of architecture, even like technology now, banking, fashion, I would say are some of the like stronger industries. And so there's a very strong work mentality. People just kind of like get up and go to work and get home. So it's kind of like that. What are your thoughts?
You're right.
Allora, io chiamato, ok, mi chiamarono, o sea, io me lo per hacer aquí, io guarda, io non sto io le dije, io che trabajo, io la porto
So this is more, now we're getting into like the center of Milan. I think our stop is the next one. This one is Stazione Cadorna. So this is pretty much central, in the central part of the city. So we get off at Cadorna, and this already is the castle you can see over there. This is the tram that comes through. So this is also another angle of the castle. Do you know any history of the castle? It was built during the period that the Visconti family was ruling Milan, and they ruled from about 1247 or so, 1277 to about 1477, 1447, something around the mid 1200s to mid 1400s. And the water from the fountains you can drink. It's the nice thing about many places around here. So this is from the front of the castle. Which one is this? Lenny, this is the castle that was built during the Visconti period, 1277 to mid 1400s.
Then up there in the tower where the bell is, it says AETERNUM STET PIETATIS OPUS.
And what would that mean?
I think it could be translated as the work of piety, like remains eternal, something like that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure of the translation.
This should also be one of the largest castles in Italy. This one here in Milan. The castle Castello Sforzesco, which
Comes from the Sforza family.
comes from the Sforza family.
Were the rulers in Milan.
They were after the Visconti family and before the Habsburgs, which was the Austrian rule, I believe, after the Sforza family.
It's one of the most important medieval castles in Italy. This one is like, I believe, the main entrance. You can see like the serpent or the snake, the eagle up there in the coat of arms, which is also the coat of arms of the snake of FC Inter. That's like the football or soccer team here in Milan. I think if you see FR and SF to the left and right, it's probably maybe Francesco Sforza. I'm not sure about that, but that's like their family coat of arms. And here is like the inner courtyard that we'll see in a minute. This is like the inner courtyard, and it's pretty huge. It's still really well maintained. And there's different like wings.
It was like added to over the years. Like each family, it seemed like it originated like with the Visconti family, and then each family that was controlling Milan in those times would like add pieces to it. Like this is like the Spanish hospital, so maybe this was an addition that was added during the 16th century when it was under Spanish domination, for example. And this would be the Spanish hospital.
here we can see one of the oldest like map of Milan. Definitely, if you come to northern Italy or to Milan and you like, you know, medieval history or history in general, this is definitely one place I suggest or recommend you visit.
So now this is the Via dei Mercanti. So literally is like the street of the merchants. So this is the main street where the merchants would put their wares out in the Renaissance. Like they would come here and they would sell their things in the Piazza del Duomo, which is in front of us now. You can see a part of the Duomo of Milan. Just solar. And so then here, if we come into here, is like all the most expensive shops in Milan. This is right next to the Duomo. So the bathrooms have gotten more expensive here in Milan. Now, use the public restroom, it's €1 per person, so we had to pay €2.
Which is pretty ridiculous in 2023. And then even myself, that I'm like from the area, even in my own language, I mean, I had a hard time to find a public toilet. Pretty much you have to go around and look for it. There's not even like one sign or nothing, which is, I think, it's ridiculous.
There was one sign that pointed to the Duomo.
Yeah, like, I don't know,
One
half a mile
sign,
before the Duomo.
half a mile, and we had to come into the underground and
But
walk
it's okay,
around.
we don't want to complain.
Walk around the underground to find it.
I don't want to complain, but definitely could be done better for probably the
For tourists.
most, or one of the most important cities in Italy.
Yeah. This should be the post office. This one is the Bank of Italy.
One should be 1908, the other one 1913.
JP Morgan. So as we were talking about in the train, like Milan is like has a lot of business with like the banking and insurance and fashion, obviously. There's like a lot of old money in this city, and it's been pretty much in the hands of like a lot of the like oldest and richest families in the world, like the Visconti and like the Habsburgs was under Spanish rule and Austrian rule and French rule. And you can see like a lot of different shops. Here we're walking down Via Torino now on the way to the bookstore, and then we'll cross down to Via dell'Unione. This is where the Esoteric bookshop is. And so now we found a Libreria Esoterica.
We are like at the Libreria Esoterica here in Milano. It's a pretty big shop here in Milan.
So I would say this is one of the larger esoteric bookshops that I've been in.
Or in Italy, for sure.
In Italy, for sure, this is one of the larger ones. They have a huge selection of books, and they also have books in English, and they also have books in French. They have a huge selection of tarot cards.
There's also like an upper level up
They
there.
also have a second level. And then just having a look around, they have incense, they have essential oils. This is the essential oils that you can see, aromatherapy.
Yeah, maybe we can take a look at the upper level.
They also have singing, the Tibetan symbols.
Yeah, it's a pretty huge shop. Here's the whole section with books in English. English book. English book. So I feel like around in Milan, just like 5-minute walk from the Duomo. You can just like pop in. And obviously if you speak Italian is better, but there are some books in English. They have teas here, incense, and all of that. More stuff here. It's pretty big. So this is all the second level. You see we were down there before. Now we're up here.
So most definitely anyone that's into esoteric books and is in Milan, this is definitely highly recommended. It's an esoteric bookshop. They also have hours from pretty much 10 in the morning until about 7 in the evening, 7 days a week.
Yeah,
You can find books on all different religions. This would be like Buddhism.
yeah, obviously like 90%. Yeah, 90% of the books are in Italian, but still, if you speak Italian, you want to learn Italian, still is like a pretty huge shop. I mean, you can stay here for a couple hours, 3 hours, and it's really a lot of stuff.
And definitely also they have books in English, and they do have a huge selection of the tarot cards. They also have older, hard to find tarot decks, which are in the glass case. So that would be something of interest for anyone to unique tarot decks. So we're just leaving Milan, and we're on the train now. I'm just digesting, reflecting, and bringing up the discussion of digestion. Just like food, we have to digest everything we eat. We also have to digest our experiences, what we take in, what we see, what we hear, the activities that we do. We have to digest everything. So now we're just beginning the process of decompression from the city. So back to like the quiet neighborhood. Because when you're in the city, you have all this extra stimulation from the noises and the smells and all the energy of all the other people. It's kind of like when you go out with your own energy, you have like this shield, kind of this radius. We can call it the aura. And basically when you go out into a high energetic area like a city, you have all this energy that you're having to kind of shield off. So by the end of the day, you're kind of tired, you know, from having to defend yourself from all different kinds of stimulation and energy. Also having to be more aware of your surroundings, aware of what you're doing. And so after a day out in the city, it's time for the decompression now. As alchemists, or magicians if you will, it's important that we keep the energy high, like high enough that we can keep some of this extra stimulation at bay. And by doing that, we have to continuously decompress then to recover all those energetic attacks, even if they're not necessarily what we would perceive as negative, it's still energy that's coming towards us. And if we can't absorb it and transmute it, we have to defend it. And so at the end of a day, on an excursion in a high energetic zone like a city, it's important to relax and decompress and recuperate the energy